Sziasztok, Janó vagyok. Közép-Európa első világra szóló podcast csatornáját hallgatjátok Magyarországról. Ez a Budapest.fm.
Hi, my name is Ray, and you're listening to the number one podcast station in Central Europe, Budapest.fm, podcasting to the world from Hungary.
Our objective is to make sure that people affected by the Ukraine conflict have a platform from which they can express their stories and be historically documented and archived for future generations.
The beginning of the storm of what's happened in the Ukraine, saying if anyone needed any help, please get in contact. I'm in Budapest. And that introduces me to my guest, who's Sergey, who's literally arrived with his girlfriend Sveta from Ukraine at my flat on Sunday. How on earth did you get to me?
Yeah, that's an interesting story. Actually, we were in the very middle in Ukraine when all those war actions began. We were in Kiev, and by 6 a.m. we got a call from Sveta's friend that she actually can hear an explosion with her own ears. And we were terrified a lot, so we just woke up and started to discuss what could we do. I got straight to the ATM trying to withdraw some cash, and Sveta as well. Then to the shop to get some more food, because the first idea was to stay safe at home with food and water and all we need sufficient to survive for a couple of weeks. We didn't even understood how serious the situation is right now, because there were a lot of rumors and no one was actually sure that Russia is actually doing the invasion. We was thinking of it like some kind of small conflict near the borders and so on and so forth. But everything was totally different. So, in a couple of hours, I found out the situation is super tensive. I have some friends more or less connected with military forces in Ukraine, and they told me that it's a real invasion, a real war, because one country just launched the missiles all over the other country's territory. A real war conflict, and it's not gonna stop, and they'll proceed to Kiev for sure. And it's not gonna be safe. So we've started to get some ways out. A lot of citizens were actually scared. A lot of queues all over the roads. The main roads got overflooded with people trying to get out of Kiev and Ukraine in particular. And we were calling all our friends who has a car, and just to find a way out for us. Because I'm not a driver. I do not own a car. I don't even have a driving license. So we needed a support from the side. So a lot of messages, a lot of calls, and so on and so forth. People were terrified. Some of them thought that it's a good idea to wait a bit until it gets more calm. Some of them wanted to escape immediately, and so on and so forth. So by the evening we got lucky. One of Sveta's friends, Sveta's my girlfriend, and they had a car and exactly 2 places in their car to take us out. The plan was heading to Carpathian Mountains to hide somewhere over there. We have friends in Carpathian Mountains, and they were supposed to give us a place to stay for a short or either a long-term period. So we was hoping for the best. Sitting in the car. On the top of it, I used to know a man from Netherlands who's living in Kiev for 2 years nearly, and he speaks pure English. We got friends with him, and I had a good practice of English speaking as well. And he wanted to escape as well as us. So we got in contact, and he shared me a contact of one volunteers coordinator from the European Union. Her name is Kaz. That was my first direct connection with something foreign. And Kaz started to help me. She's helping so much people all over the world, helping refugees to get to the Ukrainian border, helping people to stay in Romania, Slovakia, Hungary in particular. And he got me in contact with you, Rupert. That was quite fortunate. Cutting the long story short, now I'm here. We went to Carpathian Mountains. We had a nightstand for one night, and then we moved in, more closer to the border. And I got contact with Kaz, and then we were texting each other like constantly texting each other and counting all the variants, which border crossing is more peaceful. Can I leave the country if there's such a possibility or not for now? A lot of questions, a lot of doubts. But finally we got to Hungary like on the third day of traveling, almost 2 days of constant traveling, 2 nightstands, and then I was on Hungarian borders. Luckily, with the first attempt, I left Ukraine. And then on Hungaria's side, there were a lot of volunteers willing to help. They took us to the nearest town, and then we bought tickets to Budapest train for me and Sveta. We got to Budapest, and there Rupert met us and just took to his apartment. And now we're staying at Rupert in the middle of Budapest, pretty safe. Had a lot of sleep, a hot shower, and so on.
And a dog who loves you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Those nice dog.
Yeah. So, I mean, what a kind of adventure, but terrifying all at the same time. And I mean, interestingly, you're not actually Ukrainian. You're from Belarus. So, how did you end up in Ukraine, Sergey?
Yeah, that's true. I'm a Belarusian citizen. And Belarus seems to be pretty kind to Ukrainian people because a lot of invasions were handled through the Belarusian border. And I'm the man with a Belarusian passport. I left Belarus like nearly 2 years ago to stand for long term in Ukraine. I got a stable job and I'm now working as an IT specialist from Ukraine. I'm having a temporary permission to work and to live in Ukraine. And I was staying there like for a year and a half, a little bit more than that. Then I met Sveta, we fell in love, and last 3 months we were living together in the same apartment in Kiev. I'm just doing my job, luckily remotely. Being as IT specialist is pretty easy nowadays because I can work remote from every corner, in particular on the earth.
And why did you leave Belarus?
Oh, that's a tough question. Actually, there were a lot of people pretty unhappy with the government itself, and if I had a chance earlier, maybe I'd do this. But unfortunately, when I was 21, I got sentenced. I got sentenced for 5 years in prison for completely unjust, and I was there for 4 of those 5 years, like 4 years staying in prison, learning some life lessons and so on and so forth in a tough way. So when I finally got out, I increased somehow a bit my technical skills because I was not actually an IT specialist before, and after those 4 years vacation as well. I took some courses, then I got a stable job, and when the possibility to leave appeared, I was first one to say yes. My company was kind enough to take me to Ukraine. Almost all expenses was covered by the company. They did all for me, buying tickets, booking places to stand, making documents for me. That's how I got in Ukraine, and I thought it would be peace. Like, all right, enough Belarus for me. I'm in Ukraine right now. Let's meet some people. Let's have some rest, and so on and so forth. And it was quite peaceful. I really love Ukraine. I living there for nearly 2 years. I made a lot of friends. Some of them are native Ukrainians. Some of them are from other countries. I had a friend who moved to Ukraine from Belarus nearly 10 years ago, and we got really nice contact. We got in touch, and this friend introduced me to Tim, one of my friends from Holland, who actually sometime after introduced me to Kaz, and that's how I found Rupert. What a strange row of actions leading me here.
So I know Kaz very vaguely through the internet, through Facebook and pro-Remain groups in the UK. So obviously someone shared my profile with her, and that's how it came about. So what did they falsely accuse you of in Belarus to send you to prison? What were you supposed to have done?
There was a situation behind marijuana. Actually, I was 21. I was young and a bit foolish maybe, and our government politics got more and more strict by that time, and a lot of people got a sentence unjustly, pretended to be selling drugs when they were actually not. Our government politics was super strict by that time, and they needed to switch attention of people to something, and they've chosen drugs in this, and a lot of young men as me started to go in prison for amazingly big amount of time, starting from 5 and ending by 20 years in prison, with some circumstances. And mostly of those courts were totally unjust, because they needed no evidence. Like in my case, no evidence. Just one man who said that I was selling drugs to him, but he was scared. He was scared with the forces, and they made him to say that. So that's what's happened to me, and that's what's happened to a lot of Belarusian people. There was a huge media announcement about that, and there is a film, if I'm not mistaken, filmed after those actions in Belarus behind drugs. It won a couple of awards on some festivals, Woodstock Festival and some Belgian festival, if I'm not mistaken. There were a lot of protests all over the Belarus, but protest doesn't do much, as we learned, because with the latest actions in Belarus, with unjust president selection, almost all the country came out on the streets to protest, and it led to nothing, actually. You might know the story behind Belarus, because right now we have some kind of dictatorship.
So you're 26 now, and I cannot, when I was 26, I'd hardly experienced anything other than a nice middle-class English background. I mean, you've been in prison, you've been a dissident, you've left home, and now you're leaving home again. I can't imagine how that feels. How do you feel? Are you excited, scared?
Actually, I'm doing my best to put my mind together, because right now it's time for the action, time for making decisions and doing the action. And our reminiscence, our sadness, it will come further for sure, but right now I'm trying to avoid it until I get a stable place to stay. And it's quite peaceful here in Budapest. And so much thanks for you and Kaz and all the people led me here. But I don't think it's our final point of destination. Right now we're looking for other variants, where to stay in particular for a long time perspective, where can I find some stable job if I fail on my main job right now. Because it's tough. I was officially working for the Ukraine, and right now Ukrainian accounts are getting blocked all over the world. So we need to find out an official way how to get me money, because I don't want to end up on the street somewhere.
So I was with you for 2 days, and for 2 days you could get your money out of your Belarusian account, and then the SWIFT system has now blocked your account. Is that right?
I'm not sure is it SWIFT system, so some sanctions on our Belarusian banks. But what I found out recently, particularly yesterday, I got some money on my Belarusian card. My Ukrainian card got blocked almost instantly because I'm a Belarusian citizen in Ukraine, and Belarus is now like partly an enemy because they're letting a lot of Russia's military forces through its country to invade Ukraine, and it's obviously bad. So my Ukrainian cards got blocked, and I got all the money on my Belarusian card. And it was working until the last time I've started to get information that Belarusian cards are getting blocked all over the world. There are problems, huge problems with cash withdrawal even in Belarus, Georgia and some other countries as well. So I just went to the ATM, and I wasn't successful actually with the first attempt to withdraw some money, but the second attempt was good. So right now I have no money on my Belarusian card, and supposedly it doesn't work at all. I have everything I have for now in cash in my pocket. So yeah.
So you're going to need to be paid and things. So there's all sorts of more and more complications down the road because you need somewhere to get your money from your company, presumably too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of tough questions, and I'm not some kind of economist, so I don't even know is there a way? How many ways are there? My company is working on it for sure, and they've proven to be honest and stable people. I'm sure we'll find out something. Right now, I continue my job, doing my work remotely, like a couple of hours during the day. Not the whole day, unfortunately, because there is a lot of information to consume, a lot of actions to take. I'm following the news, the latest news from the Ukraine, because we have friends actually who are right now in Kiev, the friends who are willing to leave but have no possibility, and so on and so forth. Following so much news, and I need to decide for my own future as well, and it distracts me for my job.
It's not a normal day-to-day 9 to 5, is it, at the moment? I mean, with all this on your mind, with so many friends and family.
Yeah, that's true. Now I work much less, but I'm looking forward to the future because I need my stable salary, and therefore I should do my job. I hope in the nearest 2 days all the decision will be finally made, and I'll get to my work.
So Sveta, your girlfriend, who's sitting on the sofa over here, comes from Donetsk, and she also had to get out of Donetsk back in 2014. Is that right?
Yeah, there was a tough situation with Russia's invasion in Donetsk in 2014 as well, and the whole world community doesn't quite understand what was happening by that time. And as far as I see, from my point of view, that was a first step to what's happening right now, because there were Donetsk and Lugansk got invaded with Russian military forces, pretended to be like separate countries.
They're sort of bikers, weren't they? They're sort of vigilante types. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Pretended to be like separate countries, but obviously covered by the Ukraine. And last 80 years, Sveta's relative, they are still in Donetsk, and they have no possibility to leave, to go out. Pretty hard. It's pretty tough. She decided to move to Kiev, and for the last year she was living in Kiev quite peacefully, and then the war began, and Sveta needs to leave her home once again, and we don't even know how long it takes the war to end, if we even have the possibility to return to our house or not, because we've packed our luggage super swiftly. It's just one full bag of things, but obviously a lot of it is left in our apartment, in our home in Kiev, and there are also friends who didn't manage to escape even.
You bought your ping pong bat though.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of strange, decision, but latest time took lots of unnecessary things with me.
And Sveta's running medals.
Yeah. Took some medals because Sveta was fond of running. Like once she did a half marathon, and she have a couple of medals. She did all the way through from the very beginning, like not running at all, that running in the morning, doing some exercises, then, like 1 kilometer, 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers, and then a half marathon. And she got medals for all that stuff. And I took that in our luggage.
Oh, wow.
Just remember.
Very important you bring your ping pong bat, though. Very important. So, I mean, the world is sort of your oyster. You could go anywhere. I mean, there's choices on the table. You have friends in Poland and Portugal and Ireland and...
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of kind people all over the world are texting me constantly, providing a place for stay for us, short or long-term perspective. And right now we're overwhelmed with the variants. We should choose one of it. But hopefully a lot of people understand how tough our situation is right now, and they're providing us as much help as they only can. Financial help on the first hand, and the occupation on the other. And the rules are got less and less strict. For me as a refugee from Ukraine, right now is much more easier to stay in Europe than it was before the war. It's strange to say that, but for now I do not need any documents except my passport to stay. And I was willing to travel for a long time, and now there's the time to travel. Unfortunately, during the war, but that's life.
What a different type of travel. It's hardly Euro-rail, is it?
Oh, yeah, you're totally right. I'm happy for now to stay in a peaceful place, that hot showers, proper meal, and 10 to 12 hours of sleep. I just can't get enough.
You've been sleeping a lot. You have been sleeping a lot. It's kind of 9 o'clock to bed, 9 o'clock in the morning getting up. I don't blame you, my goodness.
Yeah, just can't get enough. And I'm started to see dreams in English that happened to me this night.
Well, your English is getting better and better by the day. So if anyone is listening would like to ask questions, please send a message to Budapest FM /UA. Is that right? Aha, Budapest.fm /UA. So please, by all means, ring up or send a message. So where do you think your next move is?
There are a couple of possibilities, actually. As far as I hear, Warsaw is right now overwhelmed with all kind of refugees, and it's pretty crowded in there. The first our plan was going to Warsaw, and right now we're doubting, because they are actually good people willing to give us a place to stay and so on and so forth. But I'm not pretty sure for now how comfortable could it be. Yes, right now I'm the man who can think of its own comfort, so I need to make a decision. I don't know whether we are going to Warsaw or not. We also have friends in other Poland cities. What is it called? Wrocław. Yeah. One of my good friends of mine from my childhood, he's now living in Wrocław, and they're ready to give us an apartment to stay. That's for Poland. And I got in touch with a really good, brave and honest man from Ireland. I was attending English courses provided by my company, and he used to be my tutor, and he's my tutor for now. I got a lesson of English yesterday evening, and this man is ready to provide us a place to stay in Western Ireland, and this is also a possibility. We're looking on this variant so much. There are also friends in Portugal and friends in Germany. There are actually a couple of possibilities. We haven't decided for now. because a lot of my stuff to do and my job as well.
So, I mean, there's a sort of feeling of freedom in some ways, but also fear at the same time. I mean, you must be you're in contact with so many people back in Kiev at the moment, and people living in the Carpathian Mountains. I mean, what's the story now? How easy is it to get out of Ukraine if you want to?
Actually, most of the border crossing points right now are super crowded with people of all kinds of and genders and so on and so forth. But it's mostly crowds of cars. When speaking of crossing the border by foot, it's much more easier. But unfortunately not for Ukrainian men people, because during the war there is a militarization and Ukraine side does not allow them to leave. So there is no possibility to leave if you are a Ukrainian male man. Either you join the war or you just like hiding or something. They do let leave the country for women with kids or some old people like after 55 years old or something.
That's not old.
I'm only 26. Please forgive me.
That's all right.
For this statement. So yeah, it's pretty tough. Most of the people I know who either doesn't want to join the war or they won't, but doesn't have a possibility, because a lot of volunteers in Kiev and all over the Ukraine, they really want to protect their own country of the invasion, but Ukraine for now is not able to provide everyone with equipment. So there is no possibility for them to help so much, and they are not able to leave the country, and they don't know in particular what should they do. Carpathians right now are getting overflooded with refugees as well. Not only Ukrainian people, a lot of women, a lot of kids, a lot of citizens of other countries, for instance, like me or something. Fortunately, I didn't face any troubles leaving Ukraine, and the border police was super polite, like Belarusian man. Belarus is our brother nation, so of course you can leave.
But you're a brother nation, but also an enemy, because you're technically with Putin, aren't you? I mean, the country's with Putin. Of course, the people are nothing to do with it.
Yeah, the government policy of Belarus right now, I cannot comment it because I don't have proper information. I just know that there are a lot of troubles of getting out of the country right now or getting your cash withdrawn from your bank accounts. A lot of sanctions are put on the Belarus on top of those sanctions, which was before. So yeah, it's getting harder and harder to live there on the one hand, and on the other hand, the official announcement from Belarusian president is that Belarusian army is not going to join the war. That's the latest news for now, but no one's actually know what's going to happen, and the course can be changed in minutes or hours. We're very terrified. I'm in contact with my family, with my friends in Belarus, friends in Kiev, friends who got lucky to escape Kiev and right now somewhere in Carpathian Mountains, and it's not actually peaceful there as well.
Gosh. So do you think, any of your friends think that Ukraine can hold Russia off?
Yeah, I think
they're doing very well. I mean, if I watch the Western news, you just only an admiration for the bravery and but they can hold them off. But for how long? And
we all hope for the best. The official news for now is like 75% of the entire Russian army are right now in Ukraine, and Ukraine seems to do so much job to stop them. Up to every night, enemy forces are getting pulled back off from Kiev, but then they start to go again and again. A lot of people are struggling. The Europe helps us. The Europe helps Ukraine with the money, with the weapons somehow, and so on and so forth. And there are a lot of volunteers willing to struggle. There are also a lot of people coming back to Ukraine even to protect their own homeland. That's what the information I'm getting. So yeah, it seems like more or less Ukraine, with the help of European Union, is gonna be the winner. But it's not about who wins. It's just war, and it should be stopped. It should be stopped as soon as possible.
And are the West doing enough? I mean, do you think we should be creating a no-fly zone over Ukraine? I mean, the worry is the moment you do that, you're technically showing NATO aggression, which Putin can use back at home. But, I mean,
Yeah, that's a tough decision, and I'm happy that I'm not one of the people to make this decision, because there should be confident people to decide for all the NATO allies how should they behave. For now, they're doing quite a lot for us. They're not doing a strict confrontation with Russia, but they're providing so much financial and weapons help to Ukraine. I don't know. I'm just a human. That's out of my competence.
No, I totally. I'm just interested because you speak to real people on the ground, and I think we get a news thing of a news in sound bites and imagery, but actually talking to real people is what this show will be about and is about. And so I mean, we had a little bottle of champagne last night that was quite fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In these slightly dark. It's my 9th wedding anniversary, and celebrate your freedom.
Yeah, that's true. We had a little celebration yesterday night. Rupert got an anniversary, like 9 years of marriage, true love, and we joined, me and Sveta, like just to celebrate our recovery, and our dog Moisty.
Yeah,
also got some biscuits.
He got lots of biscuits. He gets spoiled by you two. Yes, he's so Sveta and Sergey have been taking Moisty out for a walk. He's been everywhere. He's sightseen the whole of Budapest. He's been to the castle and been down to Parliament. And
the views and the weather right now, right here, is truly perfect. Yesterday was the first day of spring, and the sun came out. So,
you told me it was the first day of spring. I've never heard that before. I thought it was a bit later. But Sveta said first day of spring, and we had 15 degrees and sunshine.
Yeah, that's how it's treated in Ukraine and Belarus. Like 1st of March is the first day of spring. Yeah. So yeah, right now we're pretty nervous actually, and going for a walk with a dog into a peaceful city, trying to observe some viewpoints is like super relaxing,
I can imagine. So you've got friends back in Kyiv. What's their daily, I mean, from what you hear, what's their daily life like? I mean, are their shops open? Or do they go to people's houses? Do they go to work? I mean, how on earth does it work with bombs going off? And
most of the people who are right now in Kyiv, more or less, they are trying to support the military somehow, making Molotov cocktails, making masking nets, for the vehicles of the army forces. They're the only thing they can do in particular. And I know it sounds horrible, like supporting the war, but you need to protect your homeland where there are a lot of missiles and bombs around. A lot of peaceful buildings are getting destroyed, like schools even, or children gardens. I'm getting all this information on my Telegram, and wow, that's crazy. So obviously, no going for work for those people who are not IT specialists, who are not working remotely. They just sit at home and try to help military forces as much as they can. I hope most of them have enough food and water to survive. Like once or twice every hour there is an air alert in Kyiv. Some missiles, some bombs, and people just are hiding in their bathrooms. Most of them are almost live there.
And why the bathroom?
Oh, I'm not actually a specialist, but it was told us from the very childhood that in our post-Soviet buildings, bathroom is the safest place in case of any bombs in the house. Maybe if most of the house is getting destroyed, most likely the bathroom will recover.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Speaking about the wall room and about the bath itself, I'm getting a lot of photos on my Telegram account. People just like laying in bathrooms with their blankets, with their pillows and their pets, like a lot of dogs.
And how do you make a Molotov cocktail? I mean, it's something in my life I just couldn't even imagine, unless you're some crazy extremist or crazy person. So everyone's making Molotov cocktails at home?
Not everyone. Some people are just super scared. They want to survive, and they just sit in their bathrooms, swiping all the news. Fortunately, there is a stable internet connection and cellular network for now in Ukraine. And as I've heard, Elon Musk launched and provided the access to the Starlink for now for Ukraine. The connection is pretty stable in Kiev, but not all over the Ukraine. So yeah, there are people who are making it with a Starlink or something. And a lot of people just staying at home. Some of them are trying to help. Some of them are going in the streets, trying to join the forces. There is some amount of weapons to give to ordinary people, but all this stuff is covered by the law. You cannot just walk in and ask for a weapon. You should need your documents with you, and it's done by the military organizations. Gosh, I don't know how to say it in English. Special departments will sign you, will check if you had to serve in army before, and so on and so forth.
So whether you have the ability to use a weapon in the right way.
And if you are not a Ukrainian, for example, citizens, and they won't provide you any. For instance, I have one brave man, and he knows what war is. He used to serve in Belarusian army forces as well, and he's not allowed just to get a weapon. He has all kind of skills. He can help so much, but by the law it's forbidden for him, and I can understand it. So it's not so easy to get a weapon in Ukraine right now, but there are a lot of people who can legally get it, and if they can, they do. They join the forces. They are stopping the enemy on Kiev streets. There are a lot of automobile tires all over the streets and so on and so forth. Right now I'm in Budapest and I cannot observe the situation with my own eyes. I just can see some photos on Telegram on what Kiev is looking right now, and not mostly Kiev, all the Ukrainian cities. They've changed a lot of buildings destroyed, a lot of roads, bridges got blown up, and so on and so forth. But people are struggling, and it's much easier actually to protect your own homeland either than attack, because attackers do not know the streets, and people who live in those cities, they change the signs on the road just to mess up the enemy. A lot of signs got changed, and they are doing so much to mess up and defeat the enemy. Ordinary people report to have stolen some kind of military vehicles from Russia, even, just by night. Some ordinary people, ordinary citizens,
videos,
have stolen some war machines from the Russian army, and Russia should be amazed with what's happening. And I'm hoping so much on that the war ends. I don't know, today, tomorrow, as soon as possible, because what's happening right now is crazy. It makes just no sense. I don't know what is the purpose of it. No one gets a purpose. Right now, Russia's people are struggling a lot, Belarusians and Ukrainians as well. The whole world is changing, and changing in a bad way,
Yeah, no, I mean, why is Putin doing it? There doesn't seem to be an end game, because he can't win. We don't think he can win, but it just seems irrational. In the past, you sort of understood his madness, but this time it's much more difficult to comprehend from the outside. Ukraine's huge, isn't it? I think this is what some people in Western Europe don't get, but it's actually sort of 3 times the size of France or the size of Texas.
Yeah.
So if you're coming from Kiev and you're wanting to get to a border, I mean, how far do you have to go to get to the Hungarian border?
To the Hungarian border, let me count. I think approximately 1,000 kilometers or something.
Wow, so that's almost equivalent to going from Budapest nearly to London or something. It's a long, long way. Mm-hmm. And how obviously it's getting more and more difficult to travel. I mean, it must be.
That's right.
Are trains still running, for example?
Yeah. The Ukrainian government is doing so much for the people because trains are constantly launching, and there is a huge crowd of people, and it's getting more and more huge on the Kyiv railway station and a lot of other cities in Ukraine. Not all of them, but mostly of them. They are launching the trains closer to the border or even over the border to Romania, to Poland, and so on and so forth. Yeah, a couple of my friends have successfully escaped even by the trains. When I was escaping, we were looking for a car, like, a more flexible vehicle. Mm-hmm. If it would be dangerous on the road, maybe we'll get a chance to leave it or to, just turn around or something. But trains prove to be pretty stable for now. A lot of people are using trains to escape, and they don't need documents to sit on this train. They don't need to pay for anything. Just if there are places, they're allowed. People are staying, sitting, laying in those trains. It's not like the official places. People are staying in the trains halls, and it's okay. The Ukrainian railways support it, trying to recover as much people as they only can.
Now, we're all watching it on the news in the West and in places like Hungary and all over the world. How can we help? What do people like the average person in Budapest or in Warsaw or in anywhere in Europe, what can we do? What can we do to help as individuals, and what is needed?
We appreciate all the help you can even provide. There are a lot of refugees, there are a lot of Ukrainian women with kids crossing the border, and all of them needs a place to stay, some food to eat. Most of them does not have money at all. It's really tough, and Poland have opened her borders, as well as Hungary and Romania. And so much of the countries, for instance, Germany, Ireland, Portugal, they are all accepting the refugees. But it will. I think we need more people to help, just like in person, because a lot of refugees and not so much volunteers willing to help, pretty much. But I don't think the amount is enough. So yeah, the people and the money. I'm not speaking about strict like controversy of NATO and Russia, because I'm not allowed just to think of such actions, but just helping ordinary people to get out, to survive, to find a stable place to stay, and further maybe a stable job. There are a lot of honest people in Ukraine, and they can do their job pretty well if only they get chance to stay in Europe until the war ends. Would be perfect. I don't think most of them want to stay in Europe for life. Most of us Ukrainian, Belarusian people were looking to coming back because we left our houses. But there is not possible right now to come back until the war ends.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that you need shelter, you need help, and all I'll say is, anybody out there who's got some space, please try and help. I mean, it's been a pleasure for me, and it's been wonderful meeting both of you.
Yeah,
I genuinely say that. It's a great thing to do, and I understand. I'm very lucky. You're two great people, and refugees are just people. Some are lovely, some are not so lovely. They're all sorts, aren't they? But If anybody is listening here in Budapest, I mean, just if you can open your house or do anything to help, it is obviously so much appreciated.
Yeah, right now we're staying at Rupert's, and he reports that we're accepting one more refugee from Ukraine, one Zambian man who needs a place to stay, a place to be safe. And you, Rupert, you're letting him a place in your apartment as well.
He's coming tonight, yes, and it's quite fun. I feel I'm back in student days. Shared kitchens, shared bathrooms, but you know, I mean, you can't watch and not do something. And but you know, so a voice out to anybody who can help. It's so needed at the moment.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, that Zambian guy reports when he was trying to escape Ukraine, 2 of his friends were called out to death. Like, I don't know
they
how
had
particular
apparently they had hypothermia because he wasn't given any shelter.
Gosh, that's terrible.
I don't know the full story, but he's coming today. So, so it must be so difficult because the future is always uncertain for most people, but for you it is so. You could be in a different country, you could have a different life, you could be back in Ukraine. This unsettled feeling must be, perhaps it hasn't sunk in. I mean, how does it feel? I mean...
I'm just trying to survive right now.
So you're doing all the time. So it's difficult to be because you're doing, you have to act.
Yes. Right now it's time for the action, as I've mentioned. And that's the main point. I don't know, if I get lazy enough in some peaceful place, I think my mind will just instantly blow with all the amount of information I had to consume during the past days. I'm getting more and more practice in English, and as I mentioned before, I had this night I had a dream in English. So yeah, things are constantly changing, either in my private life or for the world globally, because it's insane. It's insane. We are living in 2022 like year after the Christ, and right now just a war similar to 1942 World War II is happening. It's insane. No one of us believed in this. I was sure nothing's gonna happen, you know.
Nobody did. We all just thought it would never happen. And you know, obviously, my parents were alive during the World War II, and it's unthinkable that this was going to happen. Of course, we had conflict in the Balkans 25, 30 years ago, but this is incredible.
This is so massive. Almost every country is involved in this war. I don't know. Maybe a day or two and we'll start to call it World War III, you know? That's what's happening.
I really hope not. I hope not. I mean,
so do I.
I do believe that the West will win, but it doesn't matter because the damage done in the meantime is just horrific. Absolutely horrific.
Yeah, there are a lot of Telegram channels on my phone who are constantly sending me pictures of destroyed houses, destroyed schools, and so on and so forth. And, you know, trying to pretend invaders to go further takes high costs as well. They are doing some landmines and so on and so forth. And like 4 days ago, it was just peaceful cities. People was going to their ordinary jobs, kids was going to the schools, and so on and so forth. And right now there are air missiles, some war machines just driving in the streets, some Russian marauders coming in the shops and taking out all the food. It's terrible. It's terrible.
So, do you know any Russians?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I have Russian friends. I mean, do they support this?
Most of my friends do not. Actually, there is a lot of disinformation, a lot of propaganda on the Russian side, a lot of Russian media and their mind state in general. You know, as I've mentioned, from my point of view, what's happening right now began back in 2014, and like 8 years for them of doing nothing, That's how it was escalating. There are citizens in Ukraine who even support war, but I don't think there are lots of them. A lot of protests right now all over Russia, and the Russian government are taking people to prison to protest. One girl, yesterday I got information that one girl was sentenced to 20 years of prison in Russia for just staying in the streets, not supporting war. And one girl was taken to a prison. I don't know for how long, for just standing with a white sheet of paper with nothing written on it. Just standing in the street, and she got to prison.
So
I don't think most of the people support what's happening.
But is there, what is, there's a rationale, even if it's a crazy rationale. What is their reason for what they're doing? They think Ukraine is Russia?
There are a couple of strange opinions, like Sveta told me that in their schools they got taught that there was no Russia until like 20th century, or there were no Ukraine until 20th century, that like Soviet Union created Ukraine, and it's total bullshit. Ukraine might be a country exist even before the Russia started too, something like this. So they're trying to make a point of view that there is no Ukraine. It's for all the time it was like a part of Russia, and right now Ukraine government are just bandits who control people, like pointing guns to their heads, and Russia is like helping Ukrainian people to get rid of the government. But it's total bullshit. As a man living 2 years in Ukraine, everyone could not be happy with the government, but most of the people was quite happy. And what's happening right now, how President Zelensky acts, we're all so proud of him, how honorable, how good he behaves. That's super, and we're proud a lot for what Ukrainian government is doing right now. They're trying so much to protect their own people, and it's not a help from Russia, and not an operation. It's a real war that is happening there. The people are dying for both sides. Incredible.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy. Well, we're nearly getting towards the end. What are your hopes? What would be the best hope? To go back to your flat in Kiev, to a democratic Ukraine, with Russia shrunk as a bullying neighbor.
Actually, I'm hoping the war ends as soon as possible, and there might be some government changes in Russia that would be the best way from my point of view. I got to love Ukraine, and I hope to return once and continue living there. I hope now all the European Union understand that Ukrainians are honest people, pretty strong to protect themselves and so on and so forth, and there are already some kind of discussions on the government level to let finally Ukraine to enter European Union, and I think that would be a super decision. So we're hoping, to return to Ukraine as soon as possible, but there is so much to do, even in the best scenario, You have to repair roads, houses, and no one can even count the damage did to Ukrainian economics and the cities right now. I cannot even imagine.
And, Putin loves to talk about Nazis running Ukraine, which is a bit strange. He's obsessed with Nazis. I suppose the Soviet system was obsessed with Nazis because they could always say, we're protecting you from Nazis, that's why we won't let you travel and think. That's what the Soviet system used to say. But, Zelensky's, a Jewish guy, number one, isn't he?
Might
be. I don't think he's very practicing, but I think he's Jewish by heritage. Mm-hmm. And, the guy who's coming this afternoon is a Zambian. He's a black Zambian married to a Ukrainian woman. Mm-hmm. So Ukraine is a civilized Western democracy. I mean, it's no different to being in Hungary or Poland, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, you've got your nutcases. We all have them, but
for sure there were some problems in Ukraine, but most have learned of Kiev that it is a super international city. You know, I cannot even understand how can someone talk about Nazis in Ukraine when I was living in Kiev. You know, you are just walking down the streets and constantly you can hear different languages. A lot of English, a lot of German language, Ukrainian, Russian. And as for being a Belarusian man living in Ukraine, I faced not troubles at all on speaking Russian. You know, there is such a thing that Ukrainians might not love Russian people, but that's not true at all. I was pretty comfortable speaking Russian language, which is my native in Ukraine, and no one bats an eye. No one treats me badly or something. Ukrainians, they are just trying to protect their nationality. So that's why they're trying to more and more speak Ukrainian language, just to say to all the world that Ukraine is an independent country with a super long roots. You know, that's what some people cannot understand right now. They're just listening to Russia's propaganda, and they're like, Ukraine, what's Ukraine?
I was in Moscow in 2008, and my office was 40 people of 150 were Ukrainian, and it was a happy place. Everyone was friends. It's so incomprehensible to me. Well, we're very, very, very nearly done. I want to do a very quick plug, which is also for Ukraine. I'm Hot Paprika, which I'm a co-founder with Tausif, are doing a comedy night. Hello, okay, beg your hello, yes. Doing a comedy night for Ukraine at Mani on the 12th of March. Check it on the Hot Paprika Facebook page. Please come along and bring lots of cash because we want to raise as much money as possible. So I suppose we've got to sign off. Go back to the house. The dog will be waiting for you. As soon as you come back. He's completely in love with you two. So God knows what happens when you go on to pastures new, because he's going to miss you. It's been absolutely fascinating talking to you, and I think it's so important that people hear your story and many other people's stories like yourself.
Thanks, Rupert. Thanks, Rupert, for bringing me here. Thanks, Ray, to conduct all this meeting on Budapest.fm. Yeah, it's pretty valuable. And I hope I can help the people all over there, Hungary, and who knows elsewhere, to understand how serious and tensive the situation is right now. It's complete war, and we need as much help from the people as we can.
And, you know, we will be doing more of these. I hope to do one very, very shortly, maybe with the guy who's coming this afternoon. We will be doing more of these stories. And if you know a Ukrainian refugee who would like to come on this program, please contact, because we think this is very important for the world.
Yes, and, I'll do. I'd like to sum up the thing. Let's just try to stay humans. Try to stay humans and help your closest.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.